Here at Tangent 1985, we watch everything, and because we watch everything, we try to review everything. But as there are only so many hours in the day, we can't every time give every movie the lengthy analysis they deserve. My name is M. Glenn Gore, and this is one of those times. Hold on tight because here comes in and out like Glenn, and today we're talking about Truth or Dare. The following video review contains spoilers for the film Truth or Dare. Proceed with caution. From director Jeff Wadlow, the man responsible for the universally despised 2008 Fight Club knockoff Never Back Down and the miserably ineffective 2013 sequel Kick-Ass 2, Truth or Dare tells, poorly, the story of a group of irritating and personality-free college kids who travel to Mexico for spring break only to find themselves lured by a handsome stranger to an old abandoned mission where they are roped into a sinister version of the eponymous game. The rules are simple, or at least, they start out that way. The first readily apparent problem with this movie is how desperately it wishes it were both the vastly superior 2015 instant horror classic It Follows and the better installments from the long-lived Final Destination franchise. This is not an exaggeration. Truth or Dare mimics It Follows nearly beat for beat, but with little to no positive effect. The second and most evident flaw in the film is how the at first simple rules of the game begin to change with no regard for themselves, becoming more and more difficult to adhere to, which does nothing but make you wonder why there are rules at all. When the kids return home, they soon discover the game never ended, and they must continue to play if they want to stay alive. It finds them wherever they may be, often taking possession of the people around them, using a smirking, red-eyed version of those same people to deliver the challenge. The CGI Joker smile stretched across the faces of those controlled by the game is used ad nauseum, and merely looks goofy anytime it happens instead of scary. Truth be told, there are no legitimate scares in this movie, only manufactured jump scares accompanied by a series of gruesome deaths that lack any and all imagination. These deaths are made all the more ineffectual by our complete lack of investment in the characters. When the game dispatches them, it's ultimately meaningless as we've been given no reason to care about them at all. If the player accepts truth, they are forced to reveal one horrible secret about themselves or another to whomever happens to be nearby. But the game feels more petty and vindictive than anything else, as all it seems interested in is exposing truths with the power to destroy friendships and relationships. It makes one character reveal that another's girlfriend has been cheating on him. It compels a gay character to come out to his homophobic father. It even pushes one to admit to her best friend that she is inadvertently responsible for her father's suicide. If they choose Dare, the game only forces them to humiliate themselves if they're lucky, yet other times it requires them to injure one another and even attempt actions capable of getting them killed. Sadly, the challenges are neither inventive nor particularly exciting, and end up being less interesting than an actual game of Truth or Dare. Failure to tell the truth when prompted or refusal to take the dare results in a breach of the game's rules. When this happens, the game takes control of the offending player's body, forcing them to kill themselves in any number of violent ways. In standard horror movie fashion, the central group dies off one after the other until they have no choice but to seek the help of a survivor from a previous game. And this is about where everything ceases to make sense. The survivor reveals to them that the rules have now changed. The Truth or Dare option suddenly becomes 2 truths and 1 mandatory dare that can't be opted out of because, in her words, that's just how we were playing it. In a successful bid to make the game even more convoluted, the remaining players return to Mexico where they meet an elderly former nun who once served at the old mission where everything began. For reasons the film never explains, the only way to stop the game, according to her, is to find a player from a previous round, have them speak an incantation 7 times, and then cut out his or her tongue as a sacrifice to appease the Truth or Dare demon responsible for everything that's been happening. That's right, you heard me. A demon. That makes you play Truth or Dare. How anybody could possibly know that is anyone's guess, and the fact that the movie even attempts to sell this preposterous solution to its audience is sincerely aggravating. But that's not the end, not by a long shot. Halfway through the ritual, the last 2 characters abandon the plan by somehow tricking the demon, who is apparently playing too, I guess, into revealing to them how to defeat it. And it just tells them, no arm twisting required. The answer, as it turns out, is to get more people to play, thus slowing tremendously the amount of time before it's your turn again. So our heroine, whom the movie devotes entire scenes to convincing us how noble and self-sacrificing she is, what does she do? She uploads a video to YouTube explaining how the game operates, in effect dragging millions of innocent bystanders into the hellish contest without their knowledge or permission. This movie is despicable, plain and simple. A torturous, slipshod attempt at riding the coattails of the far better entries that preceded it. It has next to no redeeming qualities, from its awful, selfish characters and its convoluted, easily and frequently broken rules, to its convenient and unearned plot twists and its reprehensible and unethical conclusion. It lags horribly in the second half, and tries to fool you into thinking it's clever by just making everything up as it goes until it writes itself into a corner so completely that no amount of sleight of hand can distract you from how utterly incompetent it is. At one point while watching this, I literally gave the movie screen the finger for being so aggressively stupid. You've probably noticed by now that I haven't even bothered to tell you the names of the actors or the characters in this because it just doesn't matter. That's how little I care about this insipid slapdash cataclysm of a horror film. 1 star, a complete mess from obnoxious start to amoral finish, worse than mediocre without the decency or ability to be even laughably bad. That's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter for more updates. Until next time, you were just in and out like Glenn.